Man, stop scrolling, bro. Listen, I'm not trying to unalive myself. I don't have any negative intentions towards anybody. I love my family. I love my friends. I love life. I put God first above everything. Matter of fact, I want to start this video out with a quick little scripture. Proverbs 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. That's what I'm trying to do here today, guys. I'm trying to acknowledge the Lord. I'm trying to make sure that he continues to help me, help my family, to help us grow. And so with that being said, when God is asking me to do something, guess what? I'm going to do it. I don't think that any of us should ever think that we are above the calling of the Lord. We're not. I asked God for the truth about the Epstein situation. I found it. I got it. It's not about the files. It's about the videotapes, the secret hidden videotapes in Jeffrey Epstein's 350 El Brillo Palm Beach home that was torn down. It's the hidden files that were confiscated, taken by the Palm Beach Police Department. It has never been about physical files. It's always been about those tapes that Donald Trump is trying to keep secret. I got that truth. Now, I wanted the truth about the Charlie Kirk situation. And I'm not saying that God is just downloading all this stuff to me, but I do feel a little bit of favor. I'm not going to lie to you. I do feel a little bit of favor. And I know that he has blessed me with an amazing brain with some serious analytical capabilities, we'll just say. With that being said, I do not want to unalive myself. I'm very happy with life. I have a book coming out. I have a platform for my book that's coming out with my book. I have a poem that's being published through that book as well. We'll be employing people through the company, that my book will be platformed on. Our platform right within our family business called PenPub. Life is good right now and it's getting better. And that book will be out on October the 10th. So again, I am not trying to unalive myself just because I have the Epstein information and the real truth. And I just said it again, just because I figured out the Charlie Kirk assassination, the entire operation. It does not mean that I am depressed, upset, lonely, any of that stuff. I'm alive and I'm well. Okay. That's about a 3-minute and 20-second long disclaimer. So now let's get to the real work. Why are we here today? We're here today because Charlie Kirk was killed. And the media wants us to believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk from about 150 yards away on top of a rooftop that is called the LC on the Utah Valley University campus. That's basically it. That's the dry story, that Tyler Robinson did it. Lone gunman traveled from some distance away from being with his boyfriend and decided that he was going to come in without telling his boyfriend, decided that he was going to come to Utah Valley University and cause ultimate destruction. And then right afterwards, go to Dairy Queen to get some ice cream and something to eat. That's what they want us to believe. The government and their handlers are all master manipulators. They are all strong at the art of deception. All right. They will misdirect you at any chance that they can get. And I knew right away that all of this was about misdirection. So the first 5 minutes was me explaining to you what this is about. Let me explain to you further how they deceived us and we all got it wrong. It's okay. All right, guys and girls, what is going on? Listen, I'm calling this video Operation 322. Why am I calling it Operation 322? 3 patsies, 2 shooters, 2 distractions. That is pretty much what I've laid out. Now, I can show you a graphic real quick for that. We'll get back to this in a second too. But I've compiled a whole bunch of files together here for you so that we can kind of go through this together and look at all of this and see how it happened. But 3 patsies, 2 shooters, 2 distractions. 3 patsies, yellow, LC Center, right there, right there. 2 shooters, those are the red. 2 distractions, 1 right there, 1 right there. Okay, that was an immediate on the ground distraction. This was an immediate on the news distraction to misdirect about false information. All right, so All of this was playing in play at one time, and this is why I'm calling it an operation. All right. All right. Now that we understand that, and I am very happy that we are all going to be on the same page here, let's get back to it. The three Patsies: Tyler Robinson, Pistol Patsy, and a cell phone gun guy. Now, I'm going to make this quite simple for you guys. I'm not going to make it very difficult for you because we don't have a lot of time. I want to get right to it, show you exactly what you need to know. And I'm going to do many videos covering this. This is just going to be one of the many videos that I do. I'm going to keep covering it until it sticks, until people get this. But I'm going to prove to you that the two shooters actually assassinated Charlie Kirk. I'm going to show you how both of them actually did it. I'm going to show you how both shooters were to cover for the three Patsies, what their positions were and how they were covering for those three Patsies. And I'm going to show you how the two distractions played into all of this to give the perception that the public now has, which is completely wrong. It is completely false. And I'm going to show you how they actually created this deception to make sure that you kind of stay dumbed down a little bit. Okay. So, as you can see here, I have the proof of location so you guys can see for the infrared beam and all that good stuff. Some of the detailed points that Charlie was shot twice. I'm going to show you that the BA sniper covered for the cell phone Patsy, the palm shooter covered for the LC, and the palm shooter covered for the pistol Patsy as well. Okay. I'm going to show you clear evidence of a lot of different things, but I have a lot of notes here. All right. So we're going to get past all of these notes right here. Even if we don't do it all in one video, guess what? We're going to continue working at this. I want you to just join me. Join me on We Are Not Going to Mars on TikTok, and we're going to continue talking about this until we're blue in the face. All right. So let's get to it. All right, guys. Now, as I said, everybody is assuming that this guy right here on the LC, okay, Tyler Robinson, took a shot and hit Kirk right here in the middle. Hit Kirk right here in the middle of the what do you call this thing? We'll say courtyard because that's what it's called on Google Maps. So we'll call it the courtyard. Hit Kirk right here in the middle of the courtyard. Now, that is a very long shot. It's not crazy long of a shot, but it's a decent distance, about a football field and a half away, to hit somebody, square in the neck. What we realized is a lot of that data was wrong. The type of weapon that they were saying was used was just way too powerful, and it literally would have been a really, really a way worse day than what it was for Charlie Kirk. So what did I find out? What I ended up finding out is that none of this happened the way they said it happened. And as a matter of fact, this person right here, there's no way that this person could have been the shooter. Why? Because this person on the BA building was the shooter. This is who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. This is the angle that they did it from right here. This is who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. This is who shot and killed Charlie Kirk right here. This was the first shot. This was the second shot. Again, this was the first shot. This was the second shot. And I'm going to prove this to you, okay? This person right here was nothing more than a patsy. This person right here, nothing more than a patsy. This person is cell phone gun guy. This person right here is pistol patsy, okay? This is distraction number one. This is George Zen right here. This is distraction number two. This is Phil Lyman on TV, and we'll get to his interview in a second, okay? And of course, back here, the infamous Tyler Robinson, who is being splashed all over the media as the person who's, caused all of this. Tyler Robinson did not cause this, guys. I don't know to what point he has an involvement, but I know it is not nefarious in a sense that he has caused any kind of real crime. I'm just going to be honest with you. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't do anything. He was there. As far as I know of, he was in the area. We'll just say, I'm not even going to say there. He was in the area. And that's not a crime. As far as I can tell, it's definitely not a crime. I believe that he and others were coerced to go to the area that day, the Patsies. I believe that they were groomed on the expectations of what they were to provide that day, and the Patsies as well as the distractions. And I believe everybody played their role. I believe everybody did what they were supposed to do, including the two red dots. And I'm going to prove that to you now. I know you guys are sick and tired of waiting, so let me go ahead and get to proving. Actually, guys, you know what? Come back for part two. I'm going to break this video down. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter. I'm going to break all these down to under 10 minutes. Come back for part two. I got you. Welcome to part two, Charlie Kirk, Operation 322. I'm sure part one expanded your mind a little bit. So listen, we got a lot to get to, man. I want to get deeper into um, how Charlie Kirk passed away. I want to get deeper into the specifics. In this part, we're going to cover the two distractions. We're going to cover the LC passing, and we know that was Tyler Robinson, versus the BA sniper, the person who actually unalived Charlie Kirk. We're going to go over how the entry came in from behind the right ear and exited up here out of the left neck area, right above the collar area, right there. Um, we're going to go through a part of that theory that we also need to kind of unpack a little bit is the high wall that is behind Charlie Kirk. So if it came in a downward trajectory, okay, there's a high wall that's directly behind them. So we're gonna actually open up maps. I'm gonna drop you guys down on the ground. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So I haven't seen any of the YouTubers, podcasters, or anybody out there really going to show you what I'm about to show you guys today. But we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you exactly who unalived Charlie Kirk and exactly where they were when they did it. Even more importantly, that's information that's not being shared by anybody, and everybody that's out there that's doing a good job doing investigative journalism, trying to get to the truth. My hat's off to you. So we're also going to go over the angle. I'm going to show you guys the specific clues that gave exactly the sniper's location away. We're going to go over the infrared beam, the muzzle flash reflection, and we're even going to do the still frame of the bullet itself, following the path of the infrared beam. I know it's crazy, it's a lot, but we're going to cover it today. And what else we're going to? Oh, I'm also going to close out with showing you how Charlie Kirk was not shot just one time in the back of the head here, which I believe, severed. It was a gruesome. Nobody should have to go out like that. What they did to him was absolutely horrible. But I believe they did a lot of damage. I'm going to show you how that damage coming down, what it did to his neck, what it did to the upper top left part of his body. And I'm going to show you how that damage attributed to what we were actually seeing in the video. So hopefully they don't take my video down. I'm going to try my best to show you, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to try my best, and hopefully YouTube and TikTok and all these places don't take it down. But yeah, I'm going to show you that when that came in towards the top, he also got shot a second time. I'm going to show you. He did get shot from the front, guys. He absolutely got shot from the front, and I can show you exactly where he got shot from the front. So we're going to go over that as well too. And yeah, and also, guys, let me tell you why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I'm coming out with a book next week on the 10th of October called Planned. That's the name of my book. As my book is coming out, but I'm coming out with a platform. Now, those of you who know, TikTok has been, it's been sold. There's going to be a lot of things you can't say on TikTok anymore. They're refactoring the algorithm right now as we speak. They've already started rolling out some things now. With that being said, I have developed what I believe is the next iteration of social media past TikTok. I don't think anyone in the US has developed what I have developed. That's why I'm getting a patent on what I've developed. And I want you guys to join me on that platform. So I'll be launching my first version of it through my book coming up here next week, and you guys will be able to join me, over there, and we'll be able to discuss things and talk about my book and whatever else we want to talk about in an unfiltered way. And you don't have to have any fear of being taken down for having a certain viewpoint or a certain belief point. As long as everything is, of course, legal, lawful, respectful. I want you guys to come over and join me on that platform. And I'm also reaching out to all of you personal investors out there. Hit me up. Let's talk. I'm doing all of this by myself. I'm releasing the book. I'm releasing a platform that I built from scratch. I'm doing all of this by myself. And I don't want to say like by myself, like I don't have anybody around me. Like, of course, my lady, we own the company together. And we've both been in IT for over 20 years. We both, worked at high levels of IT. So with that being said, I'm doing all of this for Charlie Kirk so that I can also promote my book, which is called Planned, and so that I can promote the platform that my book will be on, which is called PenPub. PenPub is a direct competitor of Jeff Bezos and Kindle, a direct competitor of Goodreads. And I am going to give the authors on my platform 100% of their income, plus many, many more features that Jeff just can't compete with. So I've said all of that. I've taken up enough of your time with all of that. And you understand why I'm doing this and why I'm about to put this information out. Because once I do it, I can't undo it. I cannot undo this. And I'm going to do this. This is going to cost me. I know it's going to cost me because once you guys see it, you can't unsee it. And they will know that I am the one who showed you exactly what happened. So I'm telling you what I want out of this with the hopes that it will be reciprocated to me. I need help getting my platform out there. Hit me up if you guys are, interested in joining me on that journey. And also I want you to read my book too. So it's called Planned, and it's about what's going on right now, what's going to go on next year as well. Let's move forward. We don't have a lot of time now. That took all of it up talking. So I want to show you guys a couple things. Matter of fact, I'm going to get into it real quick. I'm going to show you guys the two distractions. I'm going to show you guys the LC Patsy versus the BA sniper. I'm going to give you a little bit of evidence from the sniper. We're going to cover a little bit more of it in like a part 4 or something like that. But I'm going to give you guys all the basics right now. And I'm going to show you that Charlie Kirk was shot twice. So let's get into that and no more talk. All right, guys, what is going on? Listen, welcome back. Let's get right into it, guys. I don't want to waste your time here. So look, let's start off with the two distractions, right? The two distractions are George Zinn and Phil Lyman. Now, as you can see, our two distractions are the blue dots. This blue dot right here, this is George Zinn. This one right here is Phil Lyman. Now, mind you, you see this little gray walkway right here. This is a balcony. This is about 1 story up off the ground from where this is. Mind you, this right here is the LC Center right behind that location. This is 1 story higher than this. This point of the LC Center is 1 story higher than this. Okay, so let's keep all that into consideration. George Zinn is down here on the ground. Phil Lyman is right here, and Tyler Robinson is right here. Okay, that's exactly what's going on in this picture. And of course, we know that Charlie Kirk is right here in the middle. There you go. All right. So as I told you in the last video before it went off, this right here is the second shooter, and this one right here is the first shooter. And the first shooter right here is the BA sniper. Call it the BA because this is what the building is actually called here. This is the administration building here on UVU. So from what I understand, I believe that's the administration building. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But for now, we're going to call it the BA sniper. So if we're taking a look at this now, look at it closely, guys. Again, this is the first shooter. This is the second shooter. Why does it look like this? It's very simple, guys. And if you didn't cover, follow me in the first video, I'll cover for you real quickly here. This shooter right here, okay, right here, was the first shooter that took out Charlie Kirk. This was the shot that went behind his head and down into the to the neck and shoulder area, and then came out the front of the neck area. This shooter right here shot him front center mass. Okay, and this was a part of his security detail. All right, this guy right here, one of the 3 patsies, is the cell phone gun guy. This patsy, well, actually, we have another patsy back here that you guys already, of course, know, named Tyler Robinson. And then we have another patsy that people really don't know much about. He was just seen running with a handgun, a rather large handgun. And I believe he was just another patsy put there just in case the story wanted to go in that direction. So that's what they do sometimes. They'll add, a bunch of patsies on the ground so that depending on whichever way the public decides to take the story, they can kind of shift and mold their narrative, based on that. So, and they also have a couple of shooters. So to make sure that their target is absolutely taking out maybe 2 or 3, shooters. So, and it's always the shooters that are going to take the shots that are the trained professionals. It's never going to be, never, ever, ever going to be the patsies. Okay. The patsies do not take the shots. If they are given weapons, they're fake weapons. It is not real bullets because they don't want to risk ruining the operation. The operation is supposed to be executed by the actual shooters. Okay. Now, what I want to explain to you guys is, now that that's over with, what I want to explain to you guys, and this video is going to be a little bit long, so just kind of bear with me, if you will. You're going to learn a lot in this video and be able to understand exactly what went down here so that you're not lied to anymore about this, okay? We're going to talk about how the LC building, and I'm going to show you here on the map. Let's go to the map. All right. This is UVU Courtyard, guys. This is what it looks like. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little trick here. This is, anybody can do this. All right, go here and click on Street View. That's all you got to do. All right, now you'll notice when we do that, we get all these little circles that are here, right? These are the different areas that we can drop down on the ground, the street area there in the parking lot at the front. That's going to be crucial. I'm going to show you guys something there. These are the areas we can drop down on the ground and we can start to see a lot of what's kind of going on here. So if we do that, like this one right here, let's drop down. Not hard at all. Anybody can do this. So look, when we open it up, it shows you what direction we're pointing in with the little arrow right there, in case you don't know how to use this. In case nobody, some people don't know how to use Google Maps, so do not make fun of people. But we're learning together, right? So let's be very clear, okay? Let me bring the graphic back up real quick for you guys so you guys can see it one more time. All right, we're going to be very clear about this. All right, so we're standing right there in the courtyard. This is where Tyler Robinson was. This is where Charlie Kirk was, okay? So let's go back to our map here and we can take a look at that. I'm doing all this on my cell phone, guys, so the FBI should be ashamed of themselves. But that would put Tyler Robinson right up here on this building somewhere, right there, okay? Pretty high area. Now, this shot is doable and definitely a doable shot. It's a far shot, as you can see. And let's spin it around there so you guys can see where Charlie Kirk was. He was right here. Now they've put up a memorial here that quick. They've cemented all this over and put a memorial up. That's another conversation. But he was right there. Okay. Now, what I'm telling you is, and also if we're sitting down here, we're looking around. George Zinn is around here. Right up here on this balcony is Phil Lyman, right up in this area right here. So when Phil Lyman says that he heard the shot and it sounds like it came over his back or right above his head, this is right around where he was at. Okay. So now that we understand that and we understand what's going on here and you have a better view of what's going on, I can show you so much more. Okay. Now let's go over here. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to zoom out. And remember I told you, I said, here we go. I said that the sniper, the BA sniper, actually shot from right here. Okay. And I meant exactly what I said. This is where the BA sniper shot from, right here. And it was the hardest thing ever to get a good angle to show you guys that, but I'll let me drop down and show you a couple different things, right? So first of all, it's beautiful campus. Now, this is an older picture. This is from 2017. You'll just notice that that white building is not there at all. Everything else still kind of remains the same, and structurally from this point forward is still exactly the same, okay? Nothing has changed. Now, let me show you guys something. We're going to move over actually one location real quick. And listen, this is good for you guys to be able to see so you can, learn how to do this yourself. What I want to show you here while we're here, though, is look at this wall. Do you see this solid wall? This means that Charlie would have been sitting right here on the ground. Now, he was up on a rather high podium. That's a topic for another conversation, too. He was up on what I would call, it kind of felt like a kill box, to be honest with you. It was just seated rather high, rather weird. And I think I know why it was seated that way, but we'll get into that later. So he was sitting right about here, okay? Literally right here. Now, with him sitting here, you notice that there is not much area to have behind him for somebody to shoot from behind him. And what we were getting a lot of is people were posting photos of a flash that was coming from right here. I have actually I'm going to explain to you how that flash got there. We have a lot of information that was going on from Charlie's right-hand side that suggested that Charlie did not get actually shot from over here. As we see, they try to tell us that Charlie got shot from up here. He never got shot from up here. We have the evidence that he actually got shot from right here, coming from in this direction, but in a downward angle. So as we looked at it, there's nobody on the steps that could have done it. There's nobody on these steps that could have done it. There's nobody on this walkway that could have done it. Okay, we can get up on this walkway too. Come on, let's go ahead and get up there together. So I like this view too. This is a nice view. Oh, this is inside. Sorry. There we go. Let's get up on this walkway. Oh, still inside. Come on now. There it is. This one right here. Here we go. Beautiful view. All right. Now this is where the vehicles were parked that took Charlie off. And it's a shame they didn't have an ambulance on standby. Topics for a different day. And this is basically the view from the walk up here. Okay. So there wouldn't have been anybody up here kind of, shooting at them. Now, coincidentally, this picture does give us this piece of the building here and this slant down, but this is not the view that we need. It's close to the view that we need, but it's not the view that we need. If you'll see right here, this view is right in alignment though. I mean, get you zoomed out there. with right here. What we're trying to see is actually right here. So that's what I want to actually show you guys. I want to show you guys how I actually found the sniper. And I'm going to show you in quick fashion how I found them. So we played around a little bit on the ground. We've kind of walked around a little bit. You've seen a few things. You understand kind of the lay of the land. This is a very generic, very quick fashion video. We can go over this in a live if you want on TikTok later on. I have no problems doing that with you guys. But I just wanted to give you a layout of what it looks like so you understand what you're dealing with, okay? This high wall that's behind Charlie, and we have to find where the angle is. Let's get back down here again so you can see it one more time. We have to find out where the angle is that could be behind somebody who's sitting right here. If Charlie's sitting here, how could he be hit from up and from the top of his right ear to go in a downward direction into his body, okay? Now, for the folks that are suggesting that it was the cameraman that were right here, it was not these cameramen. I'm not going to say that nothing nefarious was happening, but I'm going to say that these cameramen were not responsible for unaliving Charlie Kirk. Not at all. The first shot, I have everything that you need in this video. The first shot was taken from the BA sniper, and the second shot was taken from right around here, which if we look at it, out in the grass here, they had like a little fence thing set up and all of that stuff. So basically the second shot was kind of taken from almost the front of him a little bit right there, like a little bit off to his left-hand side a little bit. So, and hence why when his shirt got hit, it actually went up like this because his shirt was already poofed. I'm giving away too much. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys in a second. So are we cool with the campus? You guys understand how this is all laid out? If you look up here, you can kind of see now that is the thing that I was kind of wondering about right here is how is the sniper able to see over these trees? I would love for somebody to go on campus if they can for me and give me a video, go down here to Charlie's Memorial because now there's a memorial there. Oh, I didn't notice that before, but now there's a memorial that's there. And a memorial that's there, if you could take a picture like with the trees before they lose all their leaves, because we're in October now, I would love to see that line of sight to see if you could even see beyond that. That's why I know that Tyler Robinson, this shot would have been, impossible for somebody of his, for somebody of his training level. So now that we're cool with that, let's move on, guys. I'm going to actually show you some stuff dealing with the actual footage from, being there. All right, let's start out with that muzzle flash reflection first. Now, for those of you who didn't see the video on my TikTok, We Are Not Going to Mars TikTok, I have a video. I'm going to click on it right here. It's right here, actually. It looks like that. All right, video looks like that. Make sure you guys go check this video out. But I think it's, let me see here. Maybe the two. Yeah. Okay, right here. Right about here. We're going to look at it together. Let's look at it together. All right. Now, I want you guys to see where that circle is. That's where the action is going to be. This is where you're going to see an actual flash. This flash that they're showing, and from this low point that they're showing it at, it obviously below the flash is a little bit higher than the person who's actually taking this footage. I want to easily prove to you that where this flash is coming from, because we're going to couple this flash with the bullet and with the actual infrared beam itself. Now, watch this. I'm just going to press play here so you guys can kind of see it. There you go. Now I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. Look. See that it's a quick little blink. Look how quick it is. That right there. Did you see it? One more time. Right there. Boom. All right. So that little blink that you just saw, that is the actual flash that's coming from the muzzle of the sniper rifle. Now, why is that important? That's super important. Super, super, super important. I want you to remember that. Now, we're going to go from the muzzle flash. We're going to find you a still frame of the actual bullet itself. Now, this is a little bit difficult to watch, but I'm going to show you where the actual bullet is. Of course, this is highly blurred out, so you can't see anything and make anything out, but we're going to go through this together real quick. And I'm keeping the sound off purposely so you guys can't, so it doesn't get any violations. Now, I have a arrow here pointing to it because I want you guys to be able to see it. Let's go over there and look at it. Let's see if we can see it with this arrow turned up like that. There we go. It's literally for a second. There you go. There it is. And this is why I did it like this too. I'm just going to let it play one time so you guys can actually see where the arrow's at. Just look at where the arrow's at. There, I could show you in slow motion too. That way, you guys can actually know where the actual bullet is at yourself. You don't have to worry about somebody else showing you. Now, there's better renderings, but I can't get them past the sensors without blurring it tremendously. And you can kind of see it go by, there. Again, I can't show you guys anything gruesome because they'll block me, they'll ban me. You can kind of see the shadow of the bullet right there. There you go. Now, look, I know it's not great quality, and I would show you the other quality that's out there. There you go. So I don't want to give you any quality that's better than that. You're more than welcome to go look and find it. It's there, but I can't give you that. So we have literally the outline of the bullet at just literally 2 frames of the bullet, and that's all you're going to actually get in that footage. There's another guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but there's footage out there of more footage of that actual bullet itself. Now, why did I show you this? I'm showing you the flash. I'm showing you exactly where the bullet is, and I have to kind of show you where it's coming from here. You'll notice that right here is the guy with the cell phone, okay? That's sitting right next to Charlie. This is right here, the guy with the cell phone. The bullet is right here, okay? Now, if the bullet is right here, and this is the guy with the cell phone, this is the bullet that's going right towards the back, the top right ear right here, and it's coming down. And remember, in a downward trajectory. All right. I'm going to show you guys something that I think is very important for all of this. And it helped me to piece together kind of what really happened here. So we have 2 things. We have the direction that the direction that the shot is coming from based on the muzzle flash reflection. We have a still frame of the bullet itself. Now, albeit it's not really great in this video, admittedly, because I can't make it great for you guys. I apologize for that. I can only show you where it's at and show you just basically a couple frames. I can't show you anything more than that. So we have the muzzle flash reflection, and I'm calling it a reflection for a reason. We have the bullet itself, and let's go to now we have the infrared beam. Now, when I show you this is what brought me to the conclusion that I came to. Let me see. Now, look, guys, I'm like you. I'm just downloading stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. You guys see? Look, you can look right in here and see what I got going on. Okay. Watch this, guys. Watch very closely. Pay attention. If I can do this off my cell phone, the FBI should be embarrassed. Now, mind you, we're not going to get to this guy up front over here. We're not going to get to him just yet. Okay. Let's pause it. I'm going to show you guys something that everybody missed. Shout out to Stephen Ben Noon. I've been following him for a while now, Stephen Ben Noon. And, I'll give a special thanks at the end of the series for everybody that contributed to the information that I'm giving you guys. Stephen Ben Noon found this information, and brother, thank you. You helped solve this. Now, I'm ex-military. Stephen Ben Noon is ex-CIA. But he has converted his life. He speaks out against nation states that control the United States. He speaks out against the things that are going on in the United States. Powerful guy. So anyway, he gave us this beautiful, beautiful gem for me to help you guys with this today. So look at this. I want you to pay attention to this guy's cell phone right here and watch what happens. I'm not going to say anything. Just look. Look at this. Right as he was getting shot, right here. This is when the sniper drops his beam down. He barely dropped his beam down and it landed on this guy's cell phone. It was trained. The whole time you'll see the arm pop out behind the cell phone to give the signal to take the shot. Look at this. The arm pops out. That's the signal to take the shot. As soon as the arm pops out for the signal to take the shot, boom, it's taken. Look when the beam shows up. There's the arm. It's already trained on him. He doesn't have to put the beam on him or anything. It's already there. He's on the kill box. As soon as he's hit, boom, watch this. I'll show you the first line. Here it is. Right there, he's already hit. He's already hit right there. He's actually hit twice by that time. Okay? So this is what I mean by a lot of people miss this. Stephen Ben-Nun did not miss this. This is the infrared beam shining off of this guy's cell phone. Look at it. The first thing that hit Charlie was the shot that came from this infrared beam. The second was that jerk in front of him. That first shot, let me explain to you what happened here with the first shot. The first shot, okay? Oh, this is terrible. But the first shot that hit him, it came down. Look at me right here. I'm gonna just put myself down here. It came down and it went behind Charlie's head right here. Okay. It hit him right here. Now, when it entered into Charlie, it expanded. Okay. It expanded out the whole side of his neck and it pushed all of this left and forward, left and forward, left and forward. It expanded his whole neck. It blew out his whole shoulder and chest area, and his whole neck expanded left and forward. At that time, based on the amount of volume that had expanded inside of his body, he was eviscerated from the inside, quite literally. Let me show you what that looks like. I hate to say it that way, but let me just show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you get shot. Thank you, Range Day, bro, for this. We appreciate it. This is what it looks like. Okay, when you slow it down a little bit, this is what you're going to end up getting. Watch the amount of expansion that happens when a bullet hits. Imagine that being a neck. Let's go back. Imagine that. That amount of expansion from a bullet is exactly what we're talking about. This is the shock wave that hit his body. Okay? And his body shook as such as he got hit and his body expanded. Now, you can't see that with the naked eye. This is what it looks like in real speed. Boom. It's just that quick. It's done. Boom. Just that quick. So when you see Tyler's shirt go up, this is why it went up, because of the expansion, okay, of the bullet expanding inside of him. Boom. It creates that pocket of expansion. This is why when I say eviscerated, this is what I mean by eviscerated. So what do we have, guys? What am I proving to you right now in real time? I'm proving to you in real time that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what anybody does, what anybody tells you, you cannot make a beam bend. You cannot make an infrared beam bend. I'm going to put my face right next to this beam so you see it. You can't make an infrared beam bend. Wherever it's coming from, it's a straight line. It's a straight line, period. And what we see right here is Charlie is 1, 2, watch his shirt. See, as soon as that pops up on the screen, Charlie is hit. This is the guy taking the next breath and dropping it down. Actually, Charlie is already hit. He's hit right there. Watch. Boom. You see the first sign of it. He's already hit. Look at his shirt right here. I'm going to show you where to look at his shirt at. Look at his shirt right here in this area, right here behind his neck. We're going to run it one more time just to show you guys. This is the most critical. This and another piece of footage I'm about to show you guys in a second is exactly how I was able to crack this and figure out what happened to Charlie. So this evidence is critical. I know it's taken a while, but you need to see it and understand it so people can't talk you out of your position. Pay attention. Okay. Here we go. Watch the shirt. Here it is. See that? That little bumping of the shirt? Right there. Right there. He's already hit, but you see the two little dots or the dot that's actually showing up on the screen, skipping off the screen. But he's already hitting the collarbone. Look at it pop out right there. And then he's hit twice. Boom. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. He's hit right here from behind, and this one goes down and through his neck. And look at his neck bulge forward. You can see the bulging forward as he slumps slightly to the left. And as he's doing that, he's then hit by this guy right here. This guy hits him from the front. So how do I know it happened just like this? Excuse me, guys. I apologize for coughing in the mic like that. How do I know that it happened just like this? Okay. Let me pull up another video for you guys so you can see something. I put together a little video just to kind of show. I did a little graphic too, just to kind of show you right here. This guy is doing a signal right beside Charlie. This is the guy's arm that we saw in the video. And this guy, I think he's moving off of an audio signal. They all have their microphones on, or they'll have their earpieces on. So they can hear well. And everybody started moving at the same time. This guy put out the signal, I believe, for the BA sniper, so that he can see. I'm about to show you how he positions his body to move it so that the BA sniper can actually see him. He puts himself in the sunlight and he takes a little bit of a step back as he gives the signal to take the shot. Simultaneously, this guy right here hears it come over the microphone, and he turns and he takes his shot with the recoil that comes from his hand from his palm pistol.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Oh, that really looked like at that time. You know, there's probably 2 or 3 people in the crowd that have a gun.
Hang on.
Oh!
And then they say that you could see. So it looks like he's pretending to pull up his sleeve and he has a palm gun. That's what it looks like. And there's the bullet.
And again, his shot hit second, though, and I'm going to show you exactly where it hit. Matter of fact, let me show you where it hit first. So, you know, I'm not joking with you. Okay. There it is. It was right there the whole time. After the first shot hit him and expanded his neck and put this, what looked like his microphone blew up. Now you guys can see clearly the microphone did not blow up. It's still there. These are little magnets that slide off real easy. Anybody saying that this blew up, that it did not blow up. I don't know if it was set to blow up. That could be another theory, a possibility. Maybe it was a detonated device that just didn't go off in there. I don't know. But I know that it did not cause a discharge that went through Charlie's body or anything like that. So he was not shot with a camera phone from behind. That's not what took him out. He was not blown up by this device right here. That's not what took him out either. But what we all missed was right there in the middle of the screen, when Charlie's shirt was puffed out from getting hit in the back of the head from that first round. Now, mind you, you cannot fake the infrared beam. You can't fake the flash in the window. You can't fake the bullet coming at the same exact trajectory that the infrared beam was on. You cannot fake any of that stuff. If you have a bullet, if you have a gun muzzle flash in the window, and if you have an infrared beam, trust me, the gun is somewhere in that direction, period. If you have a bullet, if you have a muzzle flash reflection, if you have an infrared beam, the gun is in the direction of all of that stuff. And the first thing that you follow is the infrared beam. And that's why I was able to figure out the BA position on the BA building for the sniper. Thank you again, Stephen Ben-Noon. But this guy hits him right here in the front. Now, let me show you guys what that actually looks like so you guys can understand how this ended up, being Charlie's fate, how he got hit twice by these people. And nobody is showing this. This is the first time that this graphic has been shown. It's on We Are Not Going to Mars. That's my channel. This is what I was able to find because people were wondering how this area of the t-shirt went up. I'm going to show you how. All right, guys, let me go ahead and show you real quick, exactly frame by frame. Now that you guys understand where the BA sniper is, now that you also understand where the palm shooter is, let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like frame by frame, so you know how the sniper shot hit first, and you'll understand how the shirt poofed out at the top. As the shirt was poofed out, as it was poofed out, he got hit from here, from about the left-hand side, right near the heart area. That's why I said Charlie Kirk had no chance. He passed away instantly. I'm sure he didn't even feel anything. He was eviscerated from the inside, and then he got basically hit in his heart. I know that's horrible sounding, and it is tragic. It's terrible. But this is what they did to him. This is what they did, and then they blamed it on political stuff and all this. And this is so far beyond politics that this is just evil. So when his shirt was poofed out, mind you, his shirt is poofed out. As his shirt's poofed out, the second shot comes in and hits. Boom. And when it does, it hits. It sends that ripple of it being poofed out up like this, creating a temporary indentation in the middle of the shirt and raising it from where it was poofed out. That's exactly what happened, guys. Watch. Okay, just pay attention and watch. Oh, pause that. Listen.
You almost see like.
Hold on. Turn it off. Sorry. He's going to pick up the microphone, and as he's putting it down right here, watch the shirt puff up. Right there, he's hit. Right here, Charlie Kirk is hit. Okay? This is the shot from the sniper. Let me get again, I'm on a cell phone, guys, so just work with me. That's the shot from the sniper. Right there. Nothing blew up. You can see his thing is still in place. His earpieces flown out at this point in time frame is flying out. Some people thought it was maybe some splatter coming out of the back of his head. Could be that too. But it's also the earpiece as well. I'll just say that. But the shot came in, and look at his neck expansion. The neck completely expands. And I don't want to get too graphic here, but I want you guys to see how this part of the neck right here is pushed up and to the left, as all of this is right here is kind of blown out, if you will, from the expansion of the bullet dropping down into right here. Okay. Now pay attention to it. Again, I don't want it to be too graphic, but we took out the actual, from where the bullet came out, we took that part out. So here, again, the bullet hits right there. Okay. Now, at this very second, this next second, this is why it was all on cue and for the shots to go off at the same time so that all the shots ended up sounding like one. That is the second that he got hit with the second shot. Boom. Look at that. Center mass, guys. Right there is clear as day. Just like the graphic I showed you. Just so you know, I'm not like altering anything or anything like that. I'm just showing you what's actually there in front of your faces. Like, they want to play us, but they don't understand. Some of us will take the time to go through this stuff frame by frame. I have now the muzzle flash, the infrared beam, the bullet. And again, I have a better video that's unblurred of the bullet that I would be able to share, but due to this stuff, I can't do it. So that's fine. But you can join me on PenPub next week. And on my platform, that's going to go beyond TikTok, Facebook, and all this. We'll be able to talk more intimately about this kind of stuff and more candidly about this kind of stuff. But this is the only evidence that I know of anybody who's talking about it from this standpoint and showing it from this standpoint. Okay. Look at that. He's hit. In the moment after he's hit with a second shot right in the middle. I mean, these shots are back to back. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. Just like that. And it was over with. So this is why I'm trying to tell you guys, Charlie Kirk was hit twice. He was hit twice. Now, let's go through so you can get an idea. I got some pictures here for you. A lot of people thought that maybe he was hit from a person who was hiding in the bush here. From what I can tell, this is from a helicopter footage that's on YouTube that you guys can go find that as well, too. There's a helicopter that went over to campus just after everything happened. From what I can tell, it doesn't look like he was hit from there, but I was able to find a massive, massive clue. Okay. That flash that we saw, remember I told you the muzzle, I called it the muzzle flash reflection. Friends and family, look at this. So if the sniper is shooting from here, from this position, and I'm going to show you the sniper too, okay? I got you guys. I've worked on this detailed. So if he's shooting from here, right, his flash would have been caught by this super reflective wall. Look how reflective this wall is. This table is way over here, and this is reflecting off of the wall. This wall, entire wall, can reflect this muzzle flash coming from this guy's rifle right here. Now, mind you, he has to just shoot down a straight path, again, right into the tent here, and it's the only line of sight that you can have because remember what we did in the beginning. This wall is too high. You can't stand anywhere else and have a beam. There's nowhere else to have a beam. There's nowhere else to have an infrared beam besides this hidden location. This hidden location on top of the BA building gives you that. No one can see you. This balcony was closed off that day. So no one was on that balcony. And oh yeah, right here is a rail. And this rail would have been providing any kind of reflection or obscurity so that anybody in a crouched position here would not have been seen. There's nobody out there to see them. Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Let me help you guys out. Even though that may be the case, look what we have here. We have security cameras, guys. There's security cameras out here. Okay. So if we can get the camera, and if it's a 180 camera, it would have caught this muzzle flash at the same time too. So let's press UVU to give us that camera footage off the side of this building here, and from that little outside area there, and we could probably be able to, we might be able to see something. Who knows? I don't know. The angle is kind of weird. I think this is why they picked this location, because there's just no camera that can pick that up. And if you're there in a crouched position, no one can see you. Like literally anywhere, nobody can see you. So that's why they picked this position. I'm very certain of it. Here's another picture of that. And if you see, this is the front of the building right here, and we'll drop down into Google Maps again so you guys can see that. All right, here goes another angle to show you. Here's what the kind of the front looked like that day. All right. Now, I do not know if they had the front shut off, if they had the front of the building shut down or something like that. It would have been a lot easier for this person to, of course, escape without being seen. He obviously was not seen. He was there with an infrared beam, did the job that he was hired to do or asked to do, and he got out of there undetected, all because of people like George Zen, all because of people like Phil Lyman. And I'm saying these names because they gave false narratives. They gave false narratives. This guy is saying that he's the person. This guy is saying, oh, it sounded like it was right over my head, and he was nowhere near it. Okay. Now, I would say, oh, he's not anywhere near it. So that makes him, less culpable, and maybe he made a mistake. But I'll just put it like, let me just click on this just to show you. If he made a mistake, then riddle me this, and shout out to Candace Owens. Candace, you've been crushing it. And I hope that this video helps you, Candace. I hope that this video helps the world so you guys can understand there's no way that you have a muzzle flash reflection, no way you have a bullet, and no way that you actually have the infrared beam, and you don't have the location of the gun being over there. The gun is absolutely coming from the top of the BA building. It is the BA sniper's location, exactly where I put that red dot at. What I want you to see is this, though. What I want you to notice is what actually just happened on your screen, and you probably missed it. This is Phil Lyman right here in the middle, okay? The day after, not only did Tyler Robinson end up on Phil Lyman's family's property after he left UVU campus, but Phil Lyman, and not only, I believe Phil Lyman's people were the people who turned in some of the initial footage to TMZ, and Phil Lyman is just all throughout this thing, right? I don't like his last name, Lyman, because I know that the powers that be, they like to play games with us with these last names and with these names in general. And when I hear the name Lyman, immediately I'm looking for the lie. I'm not even going to lie to you. I know it sounds stupid, but whatever. Let me show you why. So this is the video that they put out, and I'm going to close this video out with this. I'm going to show you guys something. Follow me as I go ahead and rewind this video a little bit just to show you guys what they were able to do, the manipulation. So if I knew that my guy was at the top of the BA building, all I was trying to do was find information, knowledge that would put me in a position to see where I can get the best footage from. I scoured everywhere. I looked for everything, and I could not find this bridge footage. And let me again show you guys. Let's go back to the let me show you real quick here. I think here we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm using a mouse right now. All right, so let's go to the top of the bridge again. What I knew is I needed information that was going to give me wrong way. Information that was going to give me exactly that shooter's location right there. So I knew I needed to get to the top of this bridge and get some kind of cell phone footage from this bridge, preferably by that front rail right there. And guys and girls, just as sure as heaven is real, I did it. So let me show you. And shout out to God too. Like, let's give all the praise and thanks to God, right? So what I realized is this. As this footage goes on, right here, you'll see the person is standing on the little bridge up there. As this footage goes on, you see that there's just a cut right there. He's running through the crowd, and then boom, he's at the rail. That little cut right there is interesting. We'll just, kind of say that. It's a very, very interesting kind of cut. There you go, right there. Now, I'll tell you why. I knew when I saw this footage immediately, and again, shout out to Candace Owens. I saw this on Candace channel. Look at sis popping, winning and stuff, looking pretty and stuff. Keep winning, sis. But So Candace has done a great job. You may not agree with her politics or whatever else she talks about, but what she's doing right now, in my opinion, is the Lord's work surrounding the situation. She's keeping her foot to the pedal, and pedal to the metal. So she's high speed with this, and I'm giving her all the shout outs, the props that you can give. She's done an amazing job, but she has not gone after the direction that would suggest that Tyler Robinson is not the actual shooter. Now she knows it. She said it several times that she believes that he's a patsy. But she also has not gone explicitly after exploring the security team guy, the palm shooter, and no one besides me has put together the BA sniper angle yet. So hopefully, Candace, if you're looking at this, feel free to reach out. If you like, I can give you all my information, all my stuff, so you can look over it. Or just give me a shout out. That'd be nice. So other than that, let's move on, guys. Let's make sure you go show Candace some love. She's working her butt off over there, her and her team. So let me show you guys something. And I initially saw this on her show, so I said, you know what? I said, let me go find that footage. And guess what, guys? I found that footage. I found that footage for myself. And when I found that footage for myself, I began to realize, I said, uh-oh. We have been severely, severely lied to. Let's see, where'd that footage go? Up there at the top. Now, let me also tell you this. I initially thought, because a lot of people have conflated somebody being on the roof. So there's this angle, right? Where a guy is saying, basically, if you're taking a look, I'll show you just right here. If you're taking a look, that's kind of the BA building right there. It's the white building right there. It's BA building right here. And it looks like somebody is right there. Now, I've done all my studying and I've tracked that down. That's not a person. It's not a person at all. There's another angle that you can go look at something on the roof. Here you go. They mixed it up, though, with this other angle from somebody taking a legitimate view on top of the LC. So, those two buildings are not the same building. So they kind of, got that wrong. Let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to show you guys this real quick, and then I'm going to get off of here. You're going to have to come back for part 3 because I got some ramen downstairs that I made from scratch, and it is delicious, and it is just literally calling my name. Let me see. Oh, here it is. All right. So this is the most important video out of all the videos I have. Before we even get to that video, though, let me show you this beautiful photo right here that somebody took. This is exactly how Charlie was able to be hit from this position. If you can see right there in the perfect line of sight that they have right here. It's a perfect line of sight. It goes right over the staircase, and this is where the bullet was seen right here. The bullet was seen right there. The beam was seen right here, and the muzzle flash was seen right here in the window, which would have been a reflection off of this wall into this window. So a person sitting over here would have been able to observe this window and see that flash, which is what we got on camera at the time of the shot, as a perfect flash, muzzle flash right into this window. So coupling the muzzle flash with the infrared beam and the bullet that is seen just over the cell phone of the gentleman that's standing there, I ascertain 100% that the sniper was in this location right here undetected. Now, I got a little bit more evidence to show you why I believe that. And if Phil Lyman helped out in any way, it was because of his strange presence. So it forced me to look into that video from that bridge more, and I'm glad I did. So, as you see, excuse me, I'm actually going to play this video because I want you guys to understand, kind of how it sounded and how everything worked. Listen.
It's just, there's just so much stuff. Before we had a flag and we had it so it was positioned above the tent so it would be in the camera and they just moved. What was that? God, he just got shot! Holy Holy There's been shooting. There's been a shooting. We heard shots.
There's so much to unpack in this situation, but this has been the video that the media chose to run with. And if you saw that, this is the video out of all the videos that were out there that day, this is the video that the media chose to use and to cut. Now, if you saw, like I saw, the cussing didn't happen until the rail. So they weren't playing like or just before the route, like I say. So it was not like they were playing audio or anything like that. So it's not like they were cutting out the scenes for audio or any purposes like that. What I began to realize is that there were certain frames, okay, that are happening in this video. And if you know, you can start to see, oh, wait, here it is. It lines up. And once you realize that this man has the only camera that would have caught the sniper, all of my attention has been focused here, all of it. And let's move it over to 55 seconds. I'm not even going to hold out on you guys too much. I'm going to give you guys what you came here for, okay? Let me just show you real quick, and then we're going to go into part 3. What do you say? Now, do you believe me? Now, do you believe me? Or do you believe he got shot way from over here, from 200 yards in the neck right there? Or do you believe he got shot from right here, from where you can see a little head pop out and where you can see an infrared beam here and a bullet here and a muzzle flash reflection off of this wall here? What story do you want to believe? Do you want to believe the official narrative that tells you that he got shot from this far away? Or do you want to believe your lying eyes? You tell me what you want to believe. Let's go back to it. It took me a while to do this, guys. Who is that? What is that movement? So within the seconds after this, I was able to get a few still photos. And this is what I was able to get from that corner of the building where that shot was taken. And this is just kind of blowing up on my phone. But there was obviously something there, something back there at that time of the shot. And this is the different things that I was able to kind of just key in on, if you will. You guys are more than welcome. As you can see, whatever it was moving back there. At this point that I caught this one, it was like swinging, if you will, in this kind of direction, like a swinging like that. So it kind of went like that, and I was able to kind of catch that. Now, a lot of these things are just a few little frames. Look. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Okay? They've been lying to us the whole time. Look. If you have eyes, see. And there's only one video. One. This guy would have got away scot-free had it not been for this video. I don't know who this guy is that did this video, but whoever he is, he saved the day. Now, mind you, I would also like to get an idea of who this gentleman is. I have not been able to get, I don't have anything else about him, but maybe you guys can help me with that. So let me let you see who this is. All I can see is that he came running from back here, from that side over there. And he looks like he's maybe with the security detail. I don't know if he's undercover. I can't tell a lot about him. I don't know. So I kind of I would like to get that information. Yeah, I'd like to get that information. Anyway, guys, I've shown you a lot. I'm almost an hour into this thing. I have to edit it down, of course. It was only supposed to be 10 minutes, but hey, these things take time. And I'm still not even into all the details, right? There's a lot more detail that I can go into, but this is just part 2. I'm going to do a part 3. We're going to go more into the palm shooter assassin. We're going to go into the coordination of the movements. We're going to go into why the palm shooter. We're going to bring everything together in part 3. We're going to bring it all in and kind of just bring everything together. But I wanted to show you in quick fashion in just this one video, kind of some of my research. This is my research folder here. And hopefully, they don't ban this and don't take it down. I try to make sure there is nothing gory in here. If you haven't watched this interview, watch this interview. I'll show this in part 3, as a matter of fact, with this gentleman right here. I'll show it in part 3. But yeah, guys, I don't think Tyler Robinson did this at all. He's 100% a patsy. I believe that George Zen and this man helped to throw us off of the original scent. Now, who is Phil Lyman? Let's be honest. He's a former Republican state legislator from Utah. Okay. Um, there's a lot of information about Phil Lyman, guys. I'll just let you guys go look it up. He likes to fight within his own party. He's been trying to get the guy out of his own party. He wants to remove Cox for malfeasance. He's still fighting this fight. He's actually he has a fight, pretty big fight, I believe, before the Supreme Court. And he wants to kind of change how things are done in the Republican primary and supersede the law, basically. So you guys can read a little bit about that. Some more stuff there. There you go. So he's also received a pardon from Trump. That's another thing. So he's received a pardon from Trump. He likes to fight within his party. He was on the news right after all of this happened. The shooter, Tyler, ended up on his property right after supposedly, unaliving Charlie Kirk. Phil Lyman is all throughout this thing, and it doesn't smell good. Okay, it doesn't smell good at all. I'm just being honest with you guys. Something feels wrong about him. I could be wrong. Maybe just a whole lot of circumstances, a whole lot of coincidences, but I don't think I'm wrong. So that's what I have for you guys for this one. That lays everything out. I just want to be honest with you guys. Let's go over here. If we have the infrared beam, okay, we have the infrared beam, we have the reflective flash, all right? We have extremely limited shot angle. We have a high rear exterior wall. If you look at my other video, we have shot sound mapping that actually maps to almost that exact location. It maps to about the corner of that building, okay? We have witness testimony. That guy that I was just about to show you the interview of, I'll show you in part 3. Basically him getting shoved around by the TPUSA people to not give the interview because he was saying what he actually really saw. Okay. This gave it away though, guys. That infrared beam, the infrared beam was everything. And I have to really, 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 really thank Stephen Ben-Nun for that, because that helped me to really crack this and really kind of solve this and put him in a location and then to kind of reverse engineer what happened from that, point on. Yeah. So follow me, guys. Follow me, like, share, comment, share this out everywhere. Get this out to the FBI. Get it out to President Trump. Tell them to try to debunk what I'm saying in this video. I wish anybody would try to debunk a beam, a muzzle flash, reflection, and a bullet, and sound mapping. Try to debunk that. Anybody. I don't think anybody can debunk that. I think we found our guy. I think the BA sniper, and I'm going to coin the term as the BA sniper. The BA sniper was the one who gave the initial shot to to Charlie Kirk. I apologize. BA sniper initially shot Charlie Kirk, and then the palm shooter in front of him, a part of Charlie's detail, also participated and shot him in the front. Now, I'll show you more of that in the third part, so you got to come back so we can cover his part a little bit more. But I wanted to get this part out the way to let you know that Operation 322 was an absolute operation. It was a hit job. It was orchestrated by the security team and other people, which would suggest that it's very, very high level. I can't say who the actors are involved. It could be state actors, which I would highly assume, maybe a couple different state actors. But we know that this is a very high level of precision, very high level of planning and capabilities. And I don't think there's anybody that can debunk the evidence that I put out here today. See you in part 3.
I love the poorly educated. We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people.
I love my life and I love my family. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to call the White House for me immediately. I need you to call the FBI for me immediately. No, I am not the S word. No, I am not crazy. I'm not any of these things. But I need you to take me seriously. I need you to take me seriously. What I'm about to show you is going to be the biggest thing that you've ever seen. It's going to be the biggest thing of 2025 for the Democrats that are out there. You're going to want to use this as a political football. I already know it. I would just precaution you that if you decide to try to use this as a political football, promise the American people that you will at least do one thing, that you will never, ever abandon their constitutional, unalienable rights. Let me repeat that. Democrats, if you use the following information as a political football, which I'm sure you will, do me a solid. Promise the American people that you will never, ever dilute the Constitution of the United States of America. Promise every veteran, such as myself, that you will never dilute the Constitution of the United States of America, that you will never try to dilute unalienable rights. I'm being very specific and very, very clear for a reason. It's the unalienable rights that our government is going after. They want their small g in government to be a big G, like God. So they're going after your unalienable rights. So they basically put you in a situation where you're subservient to them for the rest of your lives, you and all the generations after you. So what I am going to show you is enough to absolutely, in my opinion, continue destroying the rest of what's left of the Republican Party. I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I probably lean more libertarian than anything, oddly. But I'm neither one of those sides. I don't believe in that game. But I do know that right now our country is under a coup. They won't tell you that. This is a democratic coup that has been set out by the corporate establishment, who has basically bought the Democratic Party, and they sent the 4 top Democrats into the Republican Party to infiltrate it, to crack it, to break it from the inside. And those small pieces that it's breaking into, those fragments, won't be able to coalesce and have an effective stance against the watering down of the Constitution of the United States of America to take away from your unalienable rights. That's what this is all about. You got it all in a nutshell right there. But this video is not about any of that. This video is purely about Charlie Kirk. And it's about what they did to Charlie Kirk. Not that I have any kind of connection to Charlie Kirk, besides the fact that he was an American citizen. I'm an American citizen. So it's good enough. Me and Charlie Kirk did not see eye to eye on many issues. Charlie Kirk was a follower of Ayn Rand. And that, I'll leave that at that. And while many Republicans may be okay with being a follower of Ayn Rand, that philosophy alone is detrimental to the overall well-being of the country. And it does not espouse the values and beliefs of what our democracy has become and what it's supposed to be. So as a follower of Ayn Rand, me and Charlie Kirk did not see eye to eye. But the truth is the truth. Charlie Kirk did not deserve what happened to him. He did not deserve that. No human deserves to be treated like that in front of people. That was a public execution. Let's be very clear about that. That was a public execution, and it was gruesome. So if you've seen parts 1 through 2, you know who I think did it. I think that my evidence is pretty definitive. You know why I'm doing this. You know I'm doing this because I have a book coming out on October 10th called Planned. I'm releasing my book on my own platform called PenPub. PenPub is going to be for all of you authors out there. I got ready to put it on Jeff's platform, and I realized they were going to try to charge me 65% of my revenue, of my profit. And I couldn't do that. So I went and developed my own platform called PenPub. And I'm going to be inviting all you authors out there to come join me on the platform so you can have your books read and build a social community behind having your books read. And, if you want to become a part of helping me grow that community and, get in on the background of helping me to expand that community, I'd greatly appreciate it. That's why I'm doing all of this stuff for Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to lie to you, because it's a little bit of a selfish motivation, is I wanted to figure out who unalived Charlie Kirk. I wanted to figure that out because I figured if I do that, you guys would help me bring PenPub to the world in a time where this platform that you're watching this on, the TT platform, has been co-opted by other forces, and the censorship is going to start happening, and we're not going to be able to stop it. But if you come over to the platform that I'm developing, none of that censorship is going to affect you in any kind of way. And it's basically, as long as you're following the law, you'll never be censored. And I've developed a new strategy beyond this TT platform and YouTube as well too. So I want you guys to join me on PenPub. I want you guys to, of course, get my book Planned. That's coming out on October the 10th of 2025. It talks about everything that's going on now, plus what's going on next year, and what we have to kind of look forward to. And I'm going to do a second version of that book. That book was actually from an interview about 10 years ago at this point, 9 to 10 years ago. So I want you guys to get in on that as soon as possible, as soon as it's available on October the 10th. So I want you guys to definitely be there to support me in that journey, because I have spent a few hundred hours finding out who unalived Charlie Kirk. And now that you've listened to my multi-minute long rant and reasons and all of these things, let me also say this. I want to pray real quick before I give you this information. This part 3 is really, this is really big to me. This is probably this is the biggest video I've ever done in my life, so I want to pray over this. Again, I'm very happy with life. I do not want to take my own. I love being here. I love my family. I love my friends. I love God. And I want to leave my mark on the world, if you will, and I want to help to make this world a better place. That's actually all I desire. I don't even desire the riches. Like, it's nice to have them. It's cool to have it, but I just really want to make this world a better place. So I hope you guys join me in that. Let's pray real quick. Father God, we come before you, Lord, and we ask you to bless everything that I'm about to show the internet out there, show the folks who are watching this. I ask you to bless their eyes to be able to discern and understand, Lord, what is real, what is not real, Lord. I ask you to guide my words, Lord, to guide my actions as I'm teaching and showing the things that I believe that you've blessed me to be able to see, Lord. I thank you, Lord, for the information that you've given me. I thank you, Lord, for the good mind and the good heart that you've given me, Lord. And I ask still, Lord, that only your spirit shines through, Lord, so that the people don't see me, but they see you, and they understand this from a spiritual perspective instead of a carnal perspective. So we thank you ahead of time, Lord, for everything that you've done for us. And we thank you, Lord, for blessing the teaching of what is about to be shown. In your holy name we pray. Amen. So let's get to it, y'all. I've never prayed publicly on camera. That's how serious this is. This is heavy. This is really heavy. So let's go. After I finished the second video, something was nagging me. I did one intro. I did 2 long, about an hour long. And at the end of video number 2, something was nagging me so bad that I went back and I looked at it again and again. Went to my lady and I said, look at this. This is what I'm thinking. And kind of ran it down to her, and she saw my point. Now, shout out to my lady. She's been putting up with me dealing with, taking hundreds of hours out to put this together. But she understood that I'm trying to put PenPub together as well, too. So she's been very gracious at letting me get this done. So shout out to her. But kind of bounced the idea off her, see, kind of if I was in the right ballpark, because I had something else completely planned for you guys after part 1 and 2. I really did. I planned on just kind of, I'll tell you what I had actually. I was going to talk to you about the palm shooter assassin, as well as the coordinated movements on how everything went during this operation, what I'm calling Operation 322. I'm going to tell you why they used a second shooter. And I'm basically just going to bring everything kind of, home and give you all the rest of the small little details and stuff like that. While I'm still going to do a lot of that in this next video clip that's coming up here shortly, I'm going to do it in a different way now, because what I actually ended up finding is the actual identity of the sniper. And that's why we're praying here today. I don't want problems with the U.S. government. Actually, I just want fairness. I just want justice, especially for my people who have put in so much work to stop being disrespected while other groups are protected. It's out of control. It's outrageous. And as a veteran who served at the highest levels and sat with some of the most not honorated, but some of the most honorable generals, I don't understand how you can look at all of us and think to yourselves, these people are all the same, and judge us by our lowest elements. Because if we held that same standard for people that don't look like us, they'd have a problem. So I'm asking for some justice and for some fairness, man. And for the constant targeting of my people to stop. Black truck drivers in America should not have to worry about getting back home safely. That's wild. College campuses shouldn't have to worry about strange fruit in the trees of their campuses and everything quickly swept under the rug. That's wild. Okay? All of the violence going on at the hands of these pew-pews towards my people has to stop. Sure, there's going to be crime within my community, and we'll deal with that. But the crime towards my community, that has to stop. Some of these people wouldn't even classify for mentally unwell. They're just deranged individuals in the fact that they're evil. And that has to stop. We have to be honest about that. And if you want people like me to keep helping people that don't look like me, then help me out here. Show some compassion, show some love to people that look like me. We're not scary. We're not here to take over everything, but we do want our just due. We do want to be treated right. We do want to be treated fairly. If you can't do that, we can leave. We've been hearing it long enough anyway. But the rest of the world is moving on, and we can go move on with them. We don't need to be here. We have enough skills. We have enough staying power to learn how to traverse any environment. all 40 something million of us could get up and go. You can have it. Hashtag y'all got it. So if we're going to stay here and work this out together, then let's do that. If not, we can all collectively leave and we'll see how your economy fares after we're gone. Moving on. Let's get back to it. I've given you my disclaimer. We've said our prayers. I've expressed my grievances and my call for actual justice in America and real equality. It's a shame what's going on. We shouldn't have to give names to equality, names like DEI and all this other kind of stuff. Equality should just be equality. That's it. But, you know, it's sad when we live in a place where people like me did not build any of the systems of governance and control. So they get to put all these labels and systems in place and we have to simply follow them. I don't agree with that model. And that's why I'm saying if we don't get more fair equity within that model, then we can go somewhere else. It's just that simple. Nobody's going to be protesting and fighting. Nobody has time to fight these people anymore. We fought for enough generations. And I will tell you like this, our participation is them winning. Our participation is them winning. If we participate, that is how this system continues. If we fail to participate, that is how all of this goes away. Within a generation or two, and we can move back home, where this is our land anyway. And I'll say this before I get off of here and get off my little box here. When I was researching George Zed, and I talked about him in, you know, first, second parts of this. When I was researching George Zed, I came across Howard Zinn, and then I came across a video on TT on this platform. And when I came across that, I realized that there's people that don't look like me on the other side that know who my people are. Howard Zinn talked about it in his book. The girl on TT was talking about how great this book was by Howard Zinn. I'm not sure if he's in any relation to George Zinn. I'm researching that now, the author Howard Zinn. And she talked about how Howard Zinn, she briefly went over, talked about the mound builders. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you've been raised by American education. So the mound builders are people that predate any people of this world. And they were all from right here. So there's a conversation to be had there. These people know who we are. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Let me show you who actually assassinated Charlie Kirk. I'm going to give you everything that I can give you in this video. And all I'm asking for in return is your support for my book plan. I'm asking for your support for PenPub coming out on October the 10th. I'll introduce it on October the 10th. As far as when we'll open everything up for actual movement, might be a little bit after that, but you'll be able to see everything for the first time on October the 10th. That's all I'm asking for is your support. And also, if you want to debunk what I'm putting out, bring it on. I would love to go live with anybody who would love to debunk. I think I'll be hosting a live here every night. I'm going to host a live around 10, maybe 11 o'clock on We Are Not Going to Mars, leading up to the release of the book and the platform. So come join me. We'll discuss things. And that is one thing I did respect about Charlie Kirk is the ability to discuss things openly and the bravery. It was a lot of ignorance, you know, mixed with the ability to discuss things openly. And that's what I like is you can be as ignorant as you want and say whatever you want to say in America and reserve that right because we have unalienable rights and we abide by the Constitution that gives us those God-given unalienable rights above man-made law. I don't ever want to lose that. And you should never want to lose that either. If you like Charlie Kirk, if you love Charlie Kirk, you should want to stand for that. And even though I'm being selfish in what I'm doing as far as saying, hey, if I figure out who assassinated him, it could help my platform and help my mission because my mission is still to help you guys. Even though I'm being selfish in that, I'm still honoring the fact that he did one thing right. He talked, he debated, he did not cause violence towards others. Now, would his beliefs and policies eventually, if implemented, have caused that harm and hurt to others? Yes, I believe that, especially if they're Ian Rand-like policies, and we can discuss that. But I believe there's a way of doing things. I believe there's a certain level of wisdom that comes with age, and Charlie just wasn't there yet. That's just my personal belief, but it does not diminish his life and his value. So with that being said, let's get to it. All right, guys and girls, welcome back to part 3. Listen, if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, make sure you go do that right away. It'll make part 3 a lot easier to understand. I'm going to make this part a little bit shorter, guys. Part 2 was pretty extensive, about an hour long, and I went into a lot in part 2. We covered in part 2, let me go over my notes here. In part 2, we covered the 2 distractions, the LC Patsy versus the BA Sniper. evidence for the BA sniper, meaning we covered the infrared beam, the muzzle flash reflection, and a still frame of the bullet itself. We did not go over the sound mapping that was there, but I did that in another video. I'll show you that video here, just in case you guys want to check that video out on my channel. It is actually this video right there, this one. So if you ever, listen, go look at that video. Just go look at that video so you can go see the sound mapping. I didn't cover that in part 2. I spoke on it, but I didn't cover it in part 2. So go check out the sound mapping as well. That's another way of knowing exactly where the sound came from. What else did we go through? Oh, we also covered the fact that Charlie was shot twice. So that was a very crucial detail. And that's something that, a lot of people are not covering. And I proved to you the locations that he was actually shot from when we covered the trail of the BA sniper with the infrared beam. And 2, we covered the hit to the front, the center front mass hit to Charlie Kirk from the palm shooter. So it's a lot going on, guys. Matter of fact, I'll open up the graphic here. We opened up this graphic here in both 1 and 2. And this graphic just kind of shows how the 2 shooters were the red dots here. 3 patsies were the yellow dots, and the 2 blue dots were the distractions. That's George Zen and Phil Lyman right there. And, they both played their parts, and I went over that in part 1 and part 2. This is a very important graphic right here for so many reasons, guys. Let me just put it to you like this. I had such an amazing revelation that it's just going to shock you guys. It really is going to shock you guys. I'm going to be quite honest here. When I was initially telling you about this, let me show you what I did. In part 2, when I was initially telling you about this, you'll see me scroll down and I clicked on this video right here. Okay. And from this video, I was able to pull these screenshots right here. Now, there's nothing wrong with these screenshots, but what it gives you is kind of grainy footage. And it's kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of maybe some artifacts in the footage or something like that. But there's obviously something happening here in this corner. And this is exactly what I was basically saying. Beams do not bend. So infrared beams do not bend. So either way, I knew that the beam had to be coming from this direction up here. It had to be coming from that direction up here. All right. So with that being said, it looked like there was something that was actually there when I was looking at it. However, we missed the bigger picture. If you go back to part 2 in that video, I think it's maybe 53 minutes in, maybe 55 minutes, something like that. Where it's towards the end, you'll see what I'm saying about an individual that's in that video. And I said, hey, if you can get me more information about who this individual is. I went and got myself more information because it kept bothering me after I got off of doing that video. And I said, you know what? I just really need to find out who this individual is. It's really bothering me. So I went and did that. Guys, I am happy to announce, I am proud to announce, after a few hundred hours of really sticking to my guns and sticking with this. And like I said, I'm doing it to promote my book Planned and doing it to promote my platform for my book Planned called PenPub. But I still wanted to get to the bottom of this. And after spending this much time with it, I am so proud to announce that I am the first person with an actual full body image of the shooter. Not only a full body image, we get a facial description, we can get an actual real description of the shooter. And I'm going to prove to you that it was the shooter. And this is the first in the world for the Charlie Kirk assassination. This tall black veteran from New Jersey, this tall black 6'5" veteran from New Jersey with the big beard is the one who figured out the rest of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Now I say figured out the rest of because there has been so many great independent journalists that have looked at this, and they have done an amazing job. I've already given shout outs to Candace Owens. She's done a beautiful job on this. Range Day Bro, super passionate. That brother right there, that's a good guy right there. Stephen Ben-Noon, just been amazing for years online, a tremendous resource for us people here in the online community, especially for more of the news that you don't find on television. I know I'm leaving some people out. Jimmy Dore, Kim Iverson, Kurt Metzger on the Jimmy Dore show, his contributions as well. There's just so many people that are independent journalists that did a good job looking at this Charlie Kirk situation and saying something doesn't sound right. Even for the ones that didn't necessarily investigate, but helped to amplify other voices, you're all appreciated, especially in the conclusion of what I've been able to figure out here. I've been able to figure out that, hey, listen, these are 3 patsies. None of these people was the shooter of Charlie Kirk. None of them. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we're going to come to find out that the shooter of Charlie Kirk was absolutely in these pictures, or I'll say was in this position. But I'm going to show you where the shooter of Charlie Kirk actually ended up being in the end. Okay. It's going to shock you. It's going to blow your mind. This is an internet first. You are hearing it here first. No one else has covered this in the way that I've covered it. No one else has put this information away extensively the way that I've done it. And I am proud to share this with you. So listen to the first part of this video, please. Help me out. I'm going to need help getting my platform out there. I'm going to need help with the investment and the structuring. So if you're a private investor and you want to get in, talk to me. I'm open to discussion. So let me show you guys something real quick. And let's not forget Tyler Robinson. This is Tyler Robinson, who they're saying shot Charlie Kirk. This is who they're saying did it. Okay. We all know that's not true. We're not even going to entertain that on this feed. We just know that that's not true. We're not entertaining that again. So on this feed, we have the actual triangulation. Let's go in here and want to get that information to you because there you go. So if you can see right here where everything is kind of triangulated, that the sound basically came from there. Now let me pull my pen out here so I can show you here. If you can see my little thing on the screen, it came from here. Now this is exactly where I'm telling you that the shooter was right about here. Okay. And actually the shooter would have had to have been right here at the crease of where the reflection off the wall can catch the muzzle from his flash, which would have reflected off of this window. Hence why somebody on the camera could get it being right here. Look at that reflection coming off of there from somebody shooting right here. All right, now let me actually not hold you guys up any longer, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to actually show you. There you go. I hope you guys like the raw nature of this video and just kind of scrolling around showing you my notes and showing. And it's a live feed. You know, I didn't make it all extra pretty or anything. I just have the files in here as I was viewing them and the ones that caught my interest, and screenshots, screen recording, stuff like that, and your little arrows here to point things out to you guys. All right. So hope you guys like the presentation of it like this. It's kind of rough and a little bit raw, but you guys get it right. So now you know what the sound mapping actually looks like. So you can know that the sound mapping was done, you know, to that location of the shot. No, it was not done on for the LC back here, which is, you know, 150, 200 yards away. No, it wasn't done there at all. The sound mapping was actually done right here. It's actually done right here in that area. All this right here, this is where the sound actually came from. Okay. As you'll see, denoted by that red dot that I have there from one of the shooters. All right. Now, here comes the good stuff, right? We talked about George Zen. We talked about Phil Lyman. What I wanted to kind of key in with you guys on before I actually show you exactly who the shooter is, because there's two shooters, right? So we already have one of them. You guys should already know who the first one is. That's a palm shooter, right? So we can kind of get into showing you why the palm shooter. I actually want to explain to you why the palm shooter did what the palm shooter did. Okay, so let's pull up the palm shooters, kind of their footage real quick. And I also wanted to show you this interview over here too, because it's important that you guys understand exactly what's going on here, so that when people talk to you about this, you're educated. You're not just, you know, coming off of the hip and just saying, hey, I think that it happened like this. No, you can actually know what actually happened, right? So let's go from here. All right, the palm shooter that you see here. Now, you guys will remember from the second video, I used this. The palm shooter, and this is very easy to understand what I'm about to tell you. All right. The palm shooter's job was to make sure that he hit Charlie Kirk in the center mass. That was to make sure that you believe, that the audience believed, that he was hit in the front. He was never meant to get hit in the front by either of the patsies. I repeat, he was never meant to get shot in the front by either of the patsies. It just wasn't a thing. Okay. The patsies did not have operational weapons that could have done anything to anybody. I'm just being honest about that. All right. The only one that I have a question about is what I call the cell phone patsy. And before I even show you this, let's go back to the cell phone patsy just real quick. All right. Where are we at? Here we go. So this person right here, this dot right here, this is what I call the cell phone patsy. The person who was sitting right here next to Charlie Kirk. And they're in the white t-shirt, and it looks like they kind of ratchet one of the cell phone guns to get ready to shoot, and it looks like it actually recoiled in the video. Not going to lie about it. It looks like it recoiled. Wasn't able to catch a frame for a bullet, wasn't able to catch any entry, and wasn't able to catch anything plausible that says that he was exactly shot by that gun. even if the gun did go off, there was no real bullet in it. When the patsies are given their weapons and given their missions and their weapons, they're ineffectual. They're there for show. They're there to, in case the camera goes that way or in case the public perception goes that way, that could be the patsy that they actually get. So, and it's always to hide the actual real shooters. In this case, we have 3 confirmed patsies. And if you'll see right here, there's the guy I was talking to you about right here at the top. And it's like the ratcheting of the gun. The very next frame, Charlie is shot. But I truly believe that this person that was a patsy was in on it with this guy who's doing the motion right here. He's giving the motion right here. So the very next frame he's shot. I believe this person was in on all of it, but I don't believe they gave him anything real. That's just my theory on that. And if he was given anything, he would have been given maybe the detonation device for anything that would have been right here. He would have been the one to kind of set that detonation device off. And I seen these guys all handing off something when Charlie went down. I'm kind of wondering if it was the fact that this did not explode and they were getting this off of him and kind of removing that and getting out of the scene. That's just a theory. That is purely speculation, what I just said right there. That has nothing to do with the facts that I'm about to show you. I'm just guessing for the white t-shirt cell phone gun guy that I'm calling him. I don't know what he was doing, but I know it had to be something, and it was in correlation with his operation, with the whole Operation 322. This person had to be a part of it. In my opinion, that's my very strong opinion about him. So let's move on. I don't want to make this too long for you guys. We covered a lot in part 2. Let me see here. I want to go back, and that was down here, I believe. Here it is. So I want to go back in here, and I want to kind of show you this again. Now, as you'll remember in part 2, we went off of the beam that's bouncing off of his cell phone right here, right? The beam just before he was shot. We showed you the little bumping out of the neck, the first little bumping out of the neck that happened right here. What else? We showed you. Oh, we showed you after the bumping out of the neck because of the bullet coming in right here and expanding out the neck, pushing it out to the front left. Okay, front and left. And if you can see me up here, I'll put myself down here. There we go. I'll go right here. Front left. Bullet comes in like this through the back, and it comes out right here. Okay, and it expanded all of this on Charlie. His neck looked like a tree trunk for the flash of a second. So I showed you all of that in part 2 and what that looks like when the bullet creates a cavity, a temporary cavity inside of an expanding cavity inside of inside of a structure, a human structure, or any kind of structure that is like an organic based kind of material. It's not a solid, it's an organic based kind of material. So it creates a huge cavity. And that's what happened to the inside of Charlie's body when that first bullet actually landed and hit him. Let me move this. When the first bullet actually landed and came down into Charlie right here, it created a huge cavity that pushed to the front left and pushed all of this out and made his body sink down, his shirt hop up. And as his shirt hopped up, this guy shot him. And right in the front center mass of his shirt. And I showed you guys that picture as well, too. At the end of this is all kind of like a little bit of a recap, okay? Now, we're going to take this recap and we're going to scale it up a little bit because I want to show you guys, let me see. Let me pull up that picture from you so you can see, you can be kind of on track. There you go. When the shirt was already up in the air, this is where the second shot landed from the palm shooter. And mind you, this guy's on Charlie's detail team. Now, I also, security detail, I also showed you, how how this guy right here basically gave the order. I showed you how he backed himself up, and in backing himself up, he hit his arm and he gave a signal off of his arm. He stuck his arm into the sunlight, as you kind of see right there. But go over video 2 and you can see, all of that again for yourself. So now we're going to get to the good part, right? What I think you guys need to understand is, and I'll say this before I actually show you who this person is that actually shot him. We're going to go right into that after I show you this. What I need you guys to understand is this. This patsy up here on the LC building, which is Tyler Robinson, was the number 1 patsy that they wanted you to see. He was the one that they had their whole story ready for, centered around everything. This patsy in the audience with the handgun right here, there's other patsies too, but I'm focusing on these main 3 because these main 3 actually had weapons. This patsy right here with the handgun that was in the audience, he, in my opinion, he's the patsy that if anybody would have saw him, if any security would have saw him and engaged him, they probably would have took him down, and then he would have became the center of attention. And or even if they would have took him out, dead men don't speak. They would have connected him to Tyler Robinson in some kind of way with an online community or something like that. Whatever online community they want to target and kind of dismantle. Over here, the cell phone gun guy. Now, if the camera would have caught this angle, if the media would have ran with this first, I believe they would have used this patsy to cover the fact that the BA sniper actually shot him from this angle. This guy looks like he's ratcheting a gun and shooting from this angle. So you would have had basically the same effect coming from the news anchors and the news TV saying, oh, he was shot from somebody in the audience, and they would show the cell phone gun guy over and over and over and over again, right? But they're not going with that narrative. They're full stop going with this narrative of Tyler Robinson. So this guy up here, the palm shooter, was meant to actually shoot him from the front, because you have to sell the narrative of either this guy being activated or this guy being activated. Whichever one they decide to go with, this guy covers both of them, while this guy right here covers that patsy. Now it could be said the other way around, that these patsies cover these two, killers. But basically, the point of the patsies is to throw you off from the scent of the killers, exactly where they are and what they are doing. So you're supposed to only look at the patsies. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, these people were tremendously sloppy. So this guy was easy to see. Everybody knows that this man shot Charlie Kirk. I don't understand how he's not arrested yet. I don't understand how there's not a conversation and discussion about it yet. I think it's an embarrassment to our country. I think it's an embarrassment to us as citizens of the United States of America, that we could actually see something, physically see something, have all different kinds of camera angles and evidence showing this thing. And yet I even showed you in part 2, the bullet. Now, I'm not going to go into all that here on this one here, but you can clearly see the bullet that actually comes out of this. And it is completely sad when you realize how, there you go, we're actually going to go over real quick, how this thing recoiled. Look at his hand. How this thing recoiled right there. Look. He wasn't fixing his shirt. He just shot Charlie. There you go. Look at that. Recoiled. Okay. And how he hit him center mass again. I already showed you the image for that. So today, what do we want to add to this today? I've proven to you where the BA sniper is. I kind of want to wrap this thing up and bring it together. I've proven to you where the palm shooter is. I've shown you, thanks again to Range Day Bro, exactly what it looks like once the bullet is going, in the expansion of the neck. I've shown you all of that. Okay. So we're bringing it all in together. You understand that this is all an operation, right? All right. Let me show you something. Now, we even did the map yesterday for those who haven't seen part 2. This is how you easily do it. Click that up there, and then you click on Street View right there, and you'll be good to go, right? And we're in the UVU courtyard right here, guys. All right. So this is really cool because we can get a chance to. We didn't have this during Kennedy's time. We didn't have this during King's time, but we have this during Kirk's time. So we're utilizing this, and we're getting ourselves some answers, and we're getting quick fashion. Now, I can get into some of these places and stand in some of these places a lot easier and see what's actually going on with my own eyes. Okay. Look at that. I can stand up on the walkway and actually see what's happening on the walkway with my own eyes. I can see where the vehicles were, okay, and what route that they took to get out of there. I can see all that with my own eyes, all right? Now, if you remember in part 2, I told you, I said, if I could just, basically I wanted more information about here, okay? And I wanted, when I showed you guys how I got the footage of being at the actual rail up here. Now, I showed you in that footage how the news media was using basically Phil Lyman and using his, using some footage from there and some footage from right around up here where he was at, using this footage. This was chopped footage, especially the footage from up here, right by Charlie. This chopped footage that they were using chops out, in my opinion, key parts. But I went back to it. I looked at it again. And what I didn't realize, guys, is we actually have a clear, not super clear, but clear enough to start a search for this person, to contact the FBI, to contact whoever you need to contact, law enforcement, state representatives, whoever you guys need to get this information to, you get it to them. I'm giving it to you guys. You go get it out to the people. Nobody can dispute me on what I'm about to show you. Okay. We have a clear image of the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, and I don't think I'm wrong. Again, I'm going to say it again. We have a clear image of the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. And if you think I'm wrong, come debate me. Show me where I'm wrong. It's going to be very hard to disprove the muzzle flash reflection off of the wall, the trajectory of the bullet, the infrared beam, and the sound mapping itself. It's going to be very hard to disprove all of those things. And when I show you who this individual is, you're now going to know I'm 100% spot on. And not only am I spot on, but the FBI, the media, whoever else, they need to change this investigation immediately. I don't know what Tyler Robinson's involvement is. He obviously had some things going on that day, but as a patsy, he would, whoever was handling him and directing him that day. But the real people got away. Palm shooter got away. And this guy I'm about to show you, I call him the BA sniper. He got away. So let me show you that. Let me show you guys that. All right. So I know that was a quick little recap right there. I know this video is a little bit long. I am long-winded, but I am not leaving any room for, for anything to be overturned here. Okay. I just don't want you guys sitting here looking at the media and thinking that Charlie Kirk was shot from 150 to 200 yards away on top of the LC Center. That did not. He was shot from right here on top of the BA Center, right next to him. Right next to him. Okay. Now, let's go. Matter of fact, before I do this, I told you yesterday that I wanted to kind of show you this video real quick. And I do want to show you this video because this is unfortunate, but this is what was happening to the Turning Point people as they were trying to say what they actually saw. And I believe, I don't know exactly where this gentleman was sitting, but from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like he heard shots coming from 150 to 200 yards away either. So let's take a listen to that.
Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I saw him, I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair, forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck, down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me!
All right, we got to stop it there. So I don't want to go against, any policies here about any kind of violence or anything like that. But you see, somebody came over and stopped him. That's disturbing to me. Maybe it wasn't nefarious. I don't know. But what I do know is he was stopped from telling, his side of the story, what happened. It doesn't matter what shirt he was wearing or what organization he was there with that day. He's an individual that was affected by this situation, and he should be able to speak his, his piece on what he saw. He wasn't speaking on behalf of the organization. So to be physically handled for speaking that in itself isn't what Charlie Kirk was even about. I'm just being honest. If you guys understand Charlie Kirk, then you understand he was about talking. That's what he was about. So he would have been okay with this gentleman talking and speaking his piece. Charlie Kirk has let many people talk to him and speak their piece, and he responds in kind. So nothing should have been different about this individual, but I kind of thought that was very disturbing, very telltale, considering that they took all the SD cards, and we haven't seen any of that footage either. So it's a lot, guys. Now, let me show you something. Show you something real easy here. All right. So what I realized is, and I'm going to show you this, and this is the first time ever seen, and this was, again, shout out to Candace. I know she's going to get tired of me shouting her out, but shout out to Candace. She has done an amazing job at this. Thank you, sis. And you've shed the other half of the light that I needed on. I was busy tracking down, where this actual shot came from. And I know you've been tracking down some of the leads surrounding it, basically how this event all unfolded. So we appreciate your contribution. This is Phil Lyman right here in the middle of your screen. All right. That's Phil Lyman. As if you saw part 2, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go over anything with Phil right now, or his family. That person in the red circle right there, that's the sniper. That is the sniper right there. He came from this location right here. I'm going to prove it to you. He came from this location right here. And of course, my audio dropped. So listen, I'm going to walk you guys through it still anyway. So here's the BA sniper for the first time. And the first time that I actually saw the BA sniper was on, of course, Candace's show. And Phil Lyman was in that interview. So you'll see Phil Lyman in the middle of your screen right there. The funny thing about the film that they showed with Phil Lyman is it was cut. And if you'll see here, I'm going to zoom it in real quick. We'll see the BA sniper for about 2 frames right there up near my avatar right there. And then boom, gone just like that. So it seems as though this video was cut, it was edited, and the very first day that the BA sniper was actually seen was during the Phil Lyman interview. And I think that that's quite interesting. So I want to go ahead and give you a higher quality, like bigger version. So let's take a look at that. Take a look at this. Look at this individual. This is uncut. Look at the frantic running. Can you see that? Look at the frantic running. And I said in the video yesterday, who is that? And I'm saying it again today. Who is that? Screenshot it if you need to, guys. slow it down for you real quick too. There you go. We're going to slow it down real quick for you so you get a really good view of this. Who is this guy? Overdressed. Completely overdressed. Who is that? Now, let me certify and tell you guys exactly why I know that that's the guy. And it's very easy to understand. You're going to walk with me through it so that nobody can talk you out of your position when you explain why this is the actual person. So let's go back to that ever so important video. This video right here is the 1 minute and 4 seconds that has saved this entire thing. I don't know this person's name who took this video, but this person deserves an award. They really do. All right. I'm going to take the audio off so you can actually hear this one, okay? And I'm going to note some things after the video, and then we're going to walk through it one time, one full spin through. And then after the video is over, I'm going to show you a couple things of what's really going on in this video, okay? And I'm going to show you why that's the actual BA sniper. That is actually the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. I'm going to show you how I know this. So let's run through it real quick, just regular.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it so it's positioned above the tent so it'd be in the camera. And it just moves. Holy
Pay attention, right here.
There's been a shooting. We heard shots. We heard shots.
All right, we can stop it right there. We can stop it right there. Now, you see about 30, somewhere between 31 and 33 seconds is when he got to us, okay? When he ran across here and he got to us. Let's take this bad boy back. I'm going to actually show you something. Watch this. If he was to shoot from this part of the roof right here, exactly where I said he was, if he took a shot from this part of the roof, it's nothing to drop down right here and run across this bridge. This part of the roof is actually open. Did you hear what I said? This part of the roof is open. He could have taken this shot easily from this position and dropped down right here and ran across. Let me show you. Let me show you how I calculated it. So let's go back to when we actually hear the shot. Watch this. 8 seconds. All right, you notice at 8 seconds is when we heard the shot. Now I stopped it at 9, but we heard it at 8 seconds exactly, okay? So, boom, 8 seconds, we hear the shot. Now from 8 seconds until we get to this rail is almost another 10 seconds. Look at that, 18 seconds, okay? 19 seconds. By the time we turn right here at 20 seconds, let me show you. We'll keep it right there, 19 seconds. We'll go over. I'm going to show you something. At this point in time right here is when you can first start to see him. Now, it's going to be harder for you guys because you're going to get a different quality of this, but I'm going to show you right here. His feet are going to start appearing right here. Right in this area that you see right here. So he's not running from over here, He's running from this direction, right in this vein. Watch. And he's the only one doing it. You see his feet right there? That's him right there. Watch this. Here he comes. He goes to that first level of tape right there. Okay? And he's booking it. And he gets to the second level. And he's out of there. Now, let's take a look at him, guys. Let's really key in on this. He's wearing cargo pants. He has on a thicker shirt, which I thought it was a coat at first, okay? Swore it was a coat at first. It's not a coat. It's a thick shirt, though. Very thick shirt for this day. And he's already a stocky guy. But you can see there that it's a short sleeve shirt. You can see the type of glasses he has on. I said, man, this dude looks like a sniper. But this collar is pulled up all the way around his neck. These reflective sunglasses that he has on. And he is the only human after that shot to make this run across the bridge. Why am I focusing on just him? One, all of the timing works out 100% perfect to being him. So what I figured in my head is, if I take this shot, drop down from this position, that's all within 3 to 4 seconds, 5 seconds maybe. Shot, boom, drop down and take off running. A guy of his size across a bridge of this size, He should be able to take the shot, drop down, start running, and be there between 20 to maybe 23 seconds. That's what I'm assuming. You talk about 40-yard dashes, and if we're talking about professionals, some of these guys are trained professionals. He's stocky, but he's not out of shape. That's a difference. He's stocky, but he's not out of shape. This guy right here was booking. He was running. Let's go back in and take a look at it. Take a look at the video I already cut up for you guys real quick. Here you go. Look how fast he's booking. We'll turn the audio off. There you go. Look at this. This is in real time. Bro is not playing. He didn't stop for that. Now, here's the problem. I'll pause it. You see these steps right here? If he was really trying to help Charlie, if he was a part of his security detail, he'd have ran down these steps and immediately started helping Charlie at this tent and helping the security detail. If he was a part of the faculty or staff, he would have immediately went into one of these buildings, like all of the other people did. They all went from here and went into those buildings or got off of those steps. They got out of the area. He is the only one who crossed across the yellow tape. The box that was, there was a box that was positioned here above Charlie. There was a yellow tape there, where people were locked in or locked out of that particular area. He is the only one who breached that tape and ran across. The only one. Okay? So when I see this person running across and getting there in exactly 20 seconds, I want to go back and show you guys. Watch this. After the shot goes off, watch how much time it is before he actually passes us. Okay? I want you guys to see this with your own eyes so nobody can trick you out of your position. All right, we're going to hear the shot at 8 seconds. Well, we already know the shot is at 8 seconds. The shot just happened, right? Now we get to the rail, okay? Now it's going to be our first time at the rail over here, seeing him come through. Here he is, right there. Those are his feet, right here. He's about to breach that tape that's there. Now, from 8 seconds until 22, 23 seconds, we're 15 seconds in. He's booking it, though. He's moving. He crosses us at about 31 seconds. That means from the time that the shot was taken, at 8 seconds is when we heard the shot, until 31 seconds. That's 23 seconds it would have taken for him to take the shot, jump down, and run. Now, where did he run to? You're saying, oh, maybe he ran down to go help on the other side. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. That's why we got Google Maps. So, let me first show you this. One, here is exactly where he dropped down. I was assuming he took the shot from right here, okay? Right around this area right here to reflect off of this wall right here to create the muzzle flash reflection off of this wall onto that window. I was assuming he was right about here, okay, to take the shot. I would have thought that he would have went this way to escape so that he could stay out of the visibility of anybody who's inside of this area over here. Nope. His dumb behind dropped down between this hole right here. Just how these little holes are at the top. He dropped down between this hole and ran out of here. Just like that. He dropped through here and ran out of here, and he shot Charlie from here. That's the line of sight. This is why Charlie was able to get hit in the back of the head with an infrared beam. This is why the infrared beam was on the cell phone. This is why, guys. So, look, I'm going to show you guys something here. Now, if he ran across this bridge, look at this. The only other staircase is over here. This staircase lets down. That's an inconvenient staircase to Charlie's position and where the security detail is. So if he's security detail trying to reach Charlie, he's definitely going to go that way. But if he's trying to get away, he's not going that way. He's actually going this way. And I believe he ran down those steps and had a vehicle parked right here. Let's zoom out so I can show you where that is. All right. So I believe that he took the shot here, dropped down through here, ran across here. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. Go back. Ran across here like this, came up here, ran across, and then literally dropped down right here into this area where these cars are right here and took off from there. So, you know, never to be seen again. As you can see, there's a little backwards way to get up out of there. I think that's our guy. Matter of fact, I don't think that's our guy. I know that's our guy. And if you're watching this with me, prove me wrong. Again, he was even seen right there. His feet were seen right there. And now we have him right here. It took 23 seconds by the time the shot was taken and for him to get across the bridge to get away. If he was a part of the security detail, he would have ran down the steps that were right there. He did not run down the steps. He did not check on Charlie to look over the edge. He didn't do any of those things. Instead, he took off. He fled like his life depended on it. Who is he? Where's he going? And those are the questions that we should be asking, guys, because there's obviously something going on here where they're trying to sell us Tyler Robinson as the main guy. He's not the main guy. This is your guy right here. This is him. This is him. So, you guys let me know what you think. I think I've solved it. I think that this is our actual person who assassinated Charlie Kirk. I don't think it was anybody else, and I think I'm 100% correct. I'd love for you to prove me wrong if you can. If you think that this is actually good, valid information, good actual findings between part 2 and part 3, and maybe part 1 too, reach out to me, talk to me. Share this with everybody. Feel free to download it, share it out with people. Let them know it's been solved, it's been figured out. Share that man's image out. Let's figure out who this guy is. You know, he's somebody. Somebody has to know who this man is. Somebody has to know who he is. So I'm calling out to all the Charlie Kirk supporters that are out there. Let's back it up just a little bit. Let's get who this guy is. There you go. Who is that? Let's find out. He's in the middle of your screen right here. Who is that guy? Who is he? That guy right there. Who is that? That's the man that shot Charlie Kirk. Him right there. This is the man that shot Charlie Kirk. Look at the guy right here just below me. He's looking at him. Look at the girl next to him. She's looking at him. This guy is running guilty. That's the man that shot Charlie Kirk. I'm telling you guys. Go look at part 2 and you'll understand it. And I didn't understand it at first either. I thought that he was maybe still up here up to a minute later. Nah, those were like artifacts or maybe just grainy video or something. He immediately took the shot, immediately dropped down through here and ran across this bridge. And that's him. And it only took him 23 seconds to get across that bridge, to take the shot and get across the bridge. From the 8-second mark all the way up to the 31-second mark. We just proved it right here in this video. I'm not going to do it twice. You can just rewind it to see it again. Okay? It's that simple, guys. So whatever everybody's telling you, scratch it. Whatever the pundits are telling you on TV, scratch it. All the left-right dividing stuff, scratch it. The man was killed by his own team. He was unalived by his own team. Now, who paid them to do it? Why they did it? I'll let you guys figure that part out. My part's done. My part's done here. I could say a lot about the state actors. You know I could. But I'm not going to get into the weeds of that situation. I just wanted to prove where the shots actually came from. No state actor outside of the United States, and even the United States itself, should be acting in a way to assassinate the citizens of the United States. This just should not be happening. This should not be our reality. Okay? It should not be our reality, but yet it is. Yet here we are. And I'm not saying that it was state sponsored, but boy, the level and degree and the difficulty of how this all played out and the amount of resources that have been utilized to make this appear real, I can't imagine it being anything other than a state sponsored event. So instead of Kirk turning into another Kennedy or another King, we can now sleep easy tonight and know that this wasn't Tyler Robinson. This was highly organized by professionals, and it was meant to fool you. It was meant to fool the American citizen. I have no problem with white people. I have no problem with immigrants, Latino, the Latino population, or any other kind of immigrant. I have no problem, of course, my own kind, Black people. What I do have is a problem with people who don't like humanity. And it's clear that these people do not like humanity. So with that being said, why are they still amongst us? Why are we still allowing them into these elected spaces? And when I say it's still amongst us, why do we keep putting them into elected spaces? It doesn't make sense. So this is why I don't do politics, because they play in your face. And then stuff like this happens and they continue to play in your face. Okay? I've already said what I've needed to say about, as a matter of fact, I'm so far ahead on these events. Now, just if this is any proof, the Charlie Kirk situation just happened. I figured it out. It's less than a month. The Epstein situation is going on with the president. I figured that out months ago, and I've been yelling to the top of my lungs. There are hidden tapes in Palm Beach. The Palm Beach Police Department has them. The state of Florida has them. The state of Florida, you need to turn those tapes over. I don't know if you need a FOIA request. I don't know what you need, but I know you have those tapes, Florida. I know you have those tapes, Florida. I've been saying that, but now certain politicians are starting to realize, oh wait, there's videotapes, not just files. I give all praise to God that I'm able to stay ahead on these events, and I pray about this stuff a lot because I want to know what's going on. I don't like being lied to. None of us like being lied to, but they make a mockery of us and they lie to us all the time because they play us like we're dumb. Why? Because we give them our money so we can keep funding their wars overseas. We don't push back. We don't fight back. So I'm telling you like this. You have the information. You do with it what you will. I'm not telling you to fight. I'm not telling you to be violent. I'm not telling you any of those things. As a matter of fact, my stance is just leave. Just leave. Let them have it. What are we losing out on? We're not losing out on anything. The rest of the world is becoming, it's not becoming, they are extremely civilized, and they're becoming more advanced. More advanced than us. They're going to move on without us. And they already are in some regions, especially China. So we can either stay here and deal with this, or we can decide to do something about it and get up out of here. I personally say that we should get up out of here. That's just how I feel personally. Guys, let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think. So I don't think the system would survive without us 40-something million people. And I'm just talking about the black population leaving this place. This country does not survive that. So we don't have to fight. We just have to leave. We don't have to participate. Our participation is their ability to win. It doesn't matter what side you choose. Our participation is what makes them win. It does not matter what side you choose. Your participation is what makes them win. Refuse to participate and become autonomous, become self-determined, and go figure it out somewhere else. I'm not telling you where to go, but this isn't your only option. And you got to use that leverage to let them know that you know that this is not your only option. You're not respected here, and they keep pulling crap like this. Let this country know with your dollars, not your votes. Your votes is your participation. Your dollars, and leaving with your dollars and giving your tax money to another country who is going to honor you better, who is going to respect you better. That might change things. So there he is. There's your shooter. I've taken over 300 hours to do this. I have done this for Planned, my book coming out on October 10th. I've done this for PenPub, my platform for my book coming out on October 10th. But I need your help. If you want to donate, if you want to give, if you want to be mentioned, so if you're going to give a donation and it's going to go towards PenPub and it's going to be sizable, before you do it, inbox me, let me know who you are, and I will make sure that you are mentioned on the date that on October 10th and beyond, if you give beyond them, but especially for October 10th, those names of the people who have contributed to helping to build PenPub. We're trying to build beyond TikTok. We're trying to build beyond these spaces so that this centralized social media model that everybody is living under the whole world, so that this model is kind of disrupted. It's time for it to bring some disruption to this model. It's the MySpaces, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Twitters, and all this stuff is just censorship. So I think I've built the next evolution of what they cannot censor as easily, and what keeps our communications a little bit more private, but allows us to say what we want to say without fear and retribution of everything being taken down and us being shadow banned or just outright banned. So come help me with that. Come help me with that. I would love to work with whoever wants to work with me on that. Okay. I hope you guys are happy. There's your guy. Leave me some love. Till the next time, take care.
If speech is violence, then some are bound to conclude that violence is justified to stop speech. And we're not going to let that be justified.